This information is presented for educational purposes only. Nothing presented here should be construed as medical advice and or as a replacement for allopathic and official medicine. This information is not intended to diagnose, treat, mitigate, or cure any condition. If you have a medical condition, seek the advice of a competent healthcare provider. Behavioral disorders are those behaviors that are disruptive, or sometimes even harmful to the individual and those around them. There are many different behaviors that fit the profile, but there are some which merit special attention. NLP and timeline therapy do not claim to cure any of those behaviors. They simply have a different perspective. And so, they can offer effective tools for improvement. Labels associated with specific behaviors only worsen the mindset of an individual. And NLP and timeline therapy focus on immediate change skills and techniques applicable immediately. So from the beginning of the NLP practitioner training, we learn that behaviors, although established by repetition, can be modified and changed, and it doesn't take a long time. We learn that the behavior is made of different components. What are those components? Let me give you some examples. Modalities are the pictures we made in our mind, sounds or feelings or smells and tastes, and also our self-talk. Submodalities are those distinctions, little distinctions we all do inside our minds to distinguish like versus dislike, to set firm our values, our beliefs. Then anchors is the next set of techniques, which are simply the relationship between an external input and an internal emotional state. Strategies, how we do things. Next is values, which are unconscious filters, which clarify what's important to us. Meta programs are other unconscious programs that we run, which filter our experience. Timeline therapy then offers immediately applicable skills and techniques in how we experience and use time. In many cases, behavioral issues have a time component associated with them. By learning how to change the direction and location of the individual timeline during timeline therapy section of the NLP practitioner, individuals then can change the unwanted behaviors using their timeline as well. Timeline therapy also can assist in how to remove negative emotions like shame and guilt and stigma associated with those unuseful behaviors. Timeline therapy offers the practical application of this knowledge, also valuable in the physical body, not only in the mind, because it leads to positive and constructive behaviors, as well as mentally, in intelligence and awareness, as well as emotionally, releasing the negative emotions luggage from the past. NLP offers techniques for changing any of the component parts of a particular unuseful behavior, thus changing the final resolution. In the language sections, once we understand how behaviors are labeled and that the label is never the experience itself, we can then reframe the meaning associated with that label, thus relieving the associated emotional burden. All in all, NLP and timeline therapy can be extremely effective tools for individuals wanting to change those unwanted behaviors by unpacking the component parts of each behavior, changing it, releasing the negative emotions and limiting beliefs associated with those behaviors, as well as limiting decisions associated with the same behaviors, and developing new strategies in place for new and constructive behaviors.